Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome and good evening. Thank you for coming over for Kirtan tonight. And thank you to Madhava Prabhu for coming and leading us in Kirtan this evening. Madhava makes it to Vrindavan every year for Kartik, and he always has a pretty intense Kirtan schedule, Val, that he follows. So we were able to get him to come here shortly tonight, and then from, I think, 9 till 11, he sings in the temple. So thank you, Madhava Prabhu, for coming. The other day, Radhe Shyam and I were sitting in my house, and we were speaking about Brihad Bhagavatamritam. And we were talking about the section in the Bhagavatamritam just in the beginning, near the beginning, when Gopakumar, the hero of the book, meets his guru in Vrindavan. And Gopakumar, he was a very simple cowherd boy, and his great qualification is that he was born at Govardhan. And his guru was a great Paramahansa, pure devotee Vaishnava, who was always chanting Hare Krishna in ecstatic love in the forest. And because Gopakumar was a cowherd boy, when he would be out with the cows, he would see this sadhu just sitting and chanting holy names and weeping and crying excessively with feelings of separation from Krishna. Gopakumar, what he would do is he would milk one of his cows, and he would take a pot of that milk to the sadhu so he could have something to nourish himself. One day he went to the sadhu to give him milk, and the sadhu said, "I want to give to you the most valuable gift. Please go to the Jamuna, take bath, and return to receive this gift." So Gopakumar quickly ran, had his bath, came back, and then the sadhu, the meaning of this mantra is. And just when his guru began to think of the meaning of the mantra and began to think of the deity of the mantra, his guru fell unconscious on the ground. And he started rolling back and forth in the dust and crying and crying and crying. And this very neophyte boy, he became worried. He was thinking maybe he had done something wrong to offend his spiritual master. But his spiritual master had thought of Krishna, and he became mad with love. Sanatana Goswami makes a point in this connection. He says that every mantra which is chanted has a deity. And by chanting the mantra, we worship the deity. So when we chant Hare Krishna mantra, the deity of the mantra is Radha Krishna. So when we're chanting with our with our words, with our tongue, with our prana, with our heart, with our absorption of mind, we're worshiping the deity. This is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that the worship of the Lord in Kali Yuga can take place anywhere, simply through the chanting of the holy names. So after some time, Gopkumar's guru composed himself, and he got up and he just walked away. So he left the boy with the instruction, chant this mantra. And because Gopkumar had observed this sadhu, and he saw that he was very nice and he was very pure and he had good qualities, he was faithful. So he began to chant the mantra. And with that chanting, a long journey began. He left Govardhan and he started wandering here and there. And ultimately, not ultimately, but at one point, he found himself in Jagannath Puri. And when he came to Puri, he went to the temple and he saw Lord Jagannath. And by that time, he had already become so advanced in chanting his mantra that when he was looking at Jagannath, he was seeing Gopal, who was the deity of his mantra. And Lord Jagannath started showing great mysteries to Gopkumar. Things that other people couldn't see, he was showing to Gopkumar. And Gopkumar would just stand and stare at Jagannath all day long. And one day when he was standing and staring at Jagannath, he looked in the front of the temple and he saw his Guru Maharaj. After some long period of time, second time he's seeing his Guru Maharaj. So he started pushing through the crowd, trying to get to his Guru. And he was just about where Guru Maharaj was, but then he made a mistake. And his mistake is he looked up and he looked at Jagannath. And when he looked at Jagannath, he became overwhelmed in ecstasy. And by the time he recovered, his Guru Maharaj had left. And he was going, oh, my misfortune, I miss my Guru, I miss my Guru. And so he started searching Jagannath Puri. And the next day he found his Guru dancing on the beach in Jagannath Puri with his arms upraised and chanting the Maha Mantra. And he went to his Guru and he fell down like a rod. And he took his Guru's lotus feet. And then he stood up. And his Guru Maharaj began to give him instruction. One of the instructions was, you were absorbed in Jagannath in great ecstasy. But because you were in so much ecstasy, you neglected your duty to chant your japa. He said, please, never neglect chanting your japa. And then the next instruction that he gave him is this mantra that I've given you is so powerful that this mantra will deliver to you everything that you could conceive of, and then it will deliver much more. And then he told him, this was the big instruction that he gave him. He said, when you chant your mantra, always you should chant with fixed intent of what you wish to achieve by chanting that mantra. And if you do that, then very quickly your mantra will take you to the goal. It's sort of like we can say, I want to go on a journey, and we pack our bags and we run out the door, but we don't know where we want to go. We just start walking down the street. But here he's saying, be very fixed. State a vow, what you want when you chant your mantra. Do you want something material? Well, certainly we don't want anything material, because everything material is going to go away. Do you want siddhis? Do you want powers? No. Do you want liberation? No. What do you want? We want pure devotional service to the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. So that's a very important point for all of us also. And Radhesham, myself, Yogi and Ananda, we were reading in one nice book today where it explains that our practice of sadhana should consist from the outset of performance with the sankalpa. What is our intent? What do we wish to attain? And the second point of sadhana is ekagrata, which means one should be absolutely fixed. Eka, meaning your mind should just have one point. This is what I want. I will not be deviated. And then the next point is bhav seva. It means think of the Lord with love, and think of how you would love to serve the Lord in the way of one of the residents of the spiritual sky. And then the fourth aspect of sadhana is something which is not really in our hands, but is in the hands of the Lord, and that is called kripa. And if we perform our kripa is meaning mercy. So if we perform with sankalpa, if we ekagrata, fixed intention, bhav seva, then we can encourage the Lord to let his rain of mercy come upon us. So we'll chant for a few more minutes, and we'll take prasad. But I'd like everybody to sort of like think for a moment before we start. But we'll just like close our eyes and just make a vow or intent. This is what I want to achieve through this chanting of Hare Krishna and my practice of sadhana bhakti. So let's just think for a moment, and then we'll continue.